Okay, so I'm fixed to tell you about how hard that I quit the IRS. So crazy. Okay, so first off, it wasn't supposed to be the IRS. At first, it was just like a remote call center job, which I was excited about because I've worked in a call center. Like, I was at a call center for like almost 4 years before, and we serviced inmate accounts, like phone accounts, commissary accounts. So, like, I've had like a ton of conversations with inmates and like just like all that kind of stuff. I did really well at my job, and they promoted me to shift lead. And then I even like about a year after that, I tried out for a supervisor position, but I didn't get it because it was a setup. Like, everybody in the call center realized that it was a setup because they gave the supervisor position to like this person that couldn't even be a rep yet. Like, they sucked. Like, they did not do a good job. Anyway, so that person got the job. Anyways, so I know that I could do a call center job. And so I was like, okay. And so I got the job, and it was weird because the lady that called me that did my interview, she was like an angel. You think? She was so nice, just loved me, and like the interview was supposed to be like 30 minutes, and we ended up talking for like an hour and 15 minutes just about like all kinds of like even non-work related stuff. But that's just because I realize now that she was just like getting as much information from me as she could. Anyway, the interview went really well, everything went through. I was excited about the job, you know. So here's what happened after that. Okay, yeah. So she told me I got the position and everything. She called back in a couple days, okay? And she sounded like a different person, completely different person. But it was her. But like, her personality was completely flipped, which I didn't think anything about it because I'm used to people doing that to me. Anyway, what she said though when she called is, she's like, "Hey, Erin, I've got some bad news, but I've got some really good news." And I was like, "Okay, sure. What is it?" And she said that she was like, "Well, the job, like your employer, whatever they were called, I forgot, it was like some, I don't know, collections company or something." She was like, "That fell through. They're actually going to not do business with us, but I have you a position with the IRS." And so then she told me like all the perks of the job and everything. I was like excited, you know, and it was like more money. It was, so instead of like $12 and like some odd cents, it was like almost $18 an hour. So I was like, that's, yeah, I'll do that because money's good. And so she's like, okay. And then they told me like when to come pick up my equipment. And so I was like, okay, cool. So I was gonna go pick up my equipment like on the next day. Okay, so here it gets even stranger because, okay, so I go to their headquarters to go pick up my equipment. First off, it just felt weird when I walked in the building. Like, it felt super weird, something, I couldn't put my finger on it, but it was like this really small waiting room. And then so I had to wait in there for the guy who was coming to go get me to like do some paperwork and to pick up like my monitors and like all that shit. So anyways, I'm sitting there, I'm waiting on him to get there. He gets there and he's got this badge on and his ID and everything like that. And I wasn't really paying attention to it at that point until like we went to go into the actual call center where my equipment was, where I was supposed to pick up my equipment. Okay, the security on this door was so high tech. Like, we had like security on the door, like at the call center and stuff, but that was nothing compared to this. Like, I've never even seen like this high tech stuff, like maybe on a movie, but I don't watch a lot of movies too. Anyways, so when he finally got in and I sat down in this cubicle, I did not feel like I was even on this planet. And, this was like a while back. It was after Arizona, but it was like, this was like probably June or July, 2023. So, anyway, and then, so I got my paperwork first. My paperwork looked weird because my IT person's name was Erin Elizabeth something, some last name. Also, my manager's name was Erin Elizabeth, and like whatever her last name was. So I thought that was a little bit strange, but I was like, well, whatever. But then also, okay, so I did my papers, I got my papers, and I'm waiting on him to bring me my monitors and stuff. I'm looking around. There's nobody in this call center. There's like one or two people in cubicles, but there's a lot of cubicles. So then I start to look. There's this meeting table, and they got like kind of like tinted glass and stuff. But I was like checking it out, and I was looking in there. So they have like all these plaques on the walls and like all these like framed like magazines and stuff, which say that they're like a Fortune 500 company. And I was thinking, that's weird because I live in this town and I've never even heard of this place. So how are they a Fortune 500 company? Like, it just didn't make sense. Anyway, listen, so I left that place, I go home, I set up my equipment, and then we start working. Okay, so we start training. Okay, so there's 2 deep net security tokens, and it's hard as hell to get into the system when our training starts. Like we barely even got in at all. Okay, that wasn't the weird part. Not even the 2 deep net security tokens. Like, one was like a kind of a main one, and then one was like a really kind of more complicated one. Like, it had more characters in the code and everything. So when we start training, and it was like, it was weird because, and I'm like, I pay attention. So when they were telling everybody there was like a 15-minute break, well, I was still there. Only I'm like rolled around to the side of my desk in the house, and I'm listening to what they're saying. And they're talking shit about us, and they're acting weird. Like, I can't think of any specific examples right now of what they were saying, but I knew something's up. Okay. And then, so training only lasted like, I did like a week and a half of training before I quit this stuff, and I'll tell you what happened. Okay, so it started getting weird. Every single day we have training. Okay, so, and then they told me, they were like, hey, Erin, we want you to come to Alexandria and go to the government building, get your government badge. I was fucking excited about I was like, oh, I want that badge so bad. I could walk into any place and ask any questions I want to. It's like my freaking dream, because I like people answering questions, But anyways, that, and then like there was supposed to be like a company car, phone, stuff like that. So I was excited. Plus, I needed the money. Anyways, but I mean, so much weird stuff happened every single day in that training. But the day that I really, really realized, like, after I'm like taking down their notes of like how we're supposed to like approach these people, the questions we're supposed to ask them, I was like, this is like, I feel like I'm fixed to do like a hitman job. Like, I don't feel good about this. Like, so I was already not feeling good about it. But then the last thing that happened when I was like, yeah, no, I can't do this, was because they told me the programs that I was going to be working in. And so the programs were called Mind Flash. So one was Mind Flash, one was Trackstar. I wish I still had these notes. All my notes and all my research and everything's been stolen. Like, so I'm having to go off memory on this stuff. But anyways, I never quit a job as hard as I quit the IRS. I sent them a detailed email. I told them that I checked them out, I researched them, I know what they're about. Like, I didn't call them reptiles, but I mean, they know. But and then it was really fucking weird because, like, I mean, I went all in on this email that I sent them. I'm gonna try to find the email and I'll tell y'all about it. Like, not on this one, but another time. Anyway, I'll try to find it. It's pretty funny, actually. But I sent them this like long, detailed email, and then they sent back, like, they're cowards. They sent back like, okay, we'll notate that to your account. And I was like, what account? I don't fucking work. Like, I don't work for y'all. Anyway, yeah. I just wanted to tell you that. It was really weird. I was bummed about not having the badge, but whatever. I just really would like to know what it's like to walk into a place. They're like, oh, sorry, lady, you can't come in here, and just like pull out your badge, and they just like clear out of the way. I just wanted that experience. I just really wanted to know what that was like.